So, I've decided to make some flowers out of plastic spoons. I've been avoiding this because fire is involved and many burns can be acquired. So, have some here. This one's an open flower. This one's a lily that was super hard. Okay, but I've seen a lot of videos of this and it looks super amazing. You make flowers out of plastic spoons and you know how this is going to go. So, fire has to be involved, which makes this dangerous. Pliers, okay? Pliers are your friend because you are dealing with melted plastic, which is very hot and stinky. Okay, you might want to use a scented candle because melted plastic is not the greatest smell you will ever encounter. So, smell some spoons. I guess I'll make a rose. That's really what's on the internet the most. I think I did these just, what other kind of flowers can you make? So you melt the spoon without making it drippy, without making it black, not without burning yourself. You will get burned. The severity of that burn is upon yourself. It's if it's dripping and on fire, don't touch it yet. But if it cools like too fast, and another thing with these is, I don't know, maybe I am using the cheapest plastic spoons there are on the market because you can get like a million of them for 50 cents. I don't know if they make high-end, expensive, fancy plastic spoons that melt better without cracking. But if you're just going to melt them down to make flowers, I mean, unless you're trying to sell them for like 20 bucks that nobody's going to buy, I say go cheap. So, making a rose. Center of the rose is all the way closed like that. And I like to leave the stick on there because then you can hold it over the fire, you guys. But if you melt this piece a little and then break it out. If you try to cut them with scissors, shards of plastic fly everywhere, okay? Safety glasses. Or for me, you know, people with visual impairments, regular glasses still protect your eyes. But no, there's a lot of videos of people making these, and I've been avoiding doing this. Because fire is hot, you guys. I don't know if you know that. Probably do, but so you melt some spoons out, and you squish them together until they kind of look, you know, like petals of some sort. These were really hard to make. This one, I took the pliers and like melted it and pulled the end of the plastic spoon up to make it pointy, which involved in me ripping the ends off of many melted spoons. So here's a petal that I got. Melt that to weaken it, which it does a lot. Okay, now the hardest part of this is when you melt two ends. Well, if you're talking to the fire, it moves. That's on fire. When you melt two ends of the plastic spoons together like so, you can like squeeze them with the pliers. The bad thing, the worst thing about this project is that, okay, yeah, you're like, oh, they're melted together, it's great. No, they like crack apart so easy, so brittle. You have to melt it to the point where it's dripping and then get them together, and then you can kind of like use a table and like smash it down and make it flat. And then I put safety pins on the backs of mine, so you can see a little safety pin there, so that I can put it, you know, put it on your shirt, put it on a necklace, put it on a ribbon, whatever. But you can put like hair clips on the back of them, or what are those called? A jump ring, those little loops that you You know what I mean? So yeah, I think I have one. Yeah. I don't know who made this one. I don't think it was me because this is severely burnt. But found this one laying around. Yeah. But that's pretty much the gist. I mean, I can do a couple more petals, but it's gonna look the same, and they're so fragile. You have to be like, I had a couple of them rolling around in my car, and they all fell apart. But this one is my favorite, so I take very good care of it and be gentle. But you can paint them with just regular acrylic paint, crafting paint, the cheap acrylic paint. And I actually, I lacquer mine. Yeah, extra fine. This is actually picture varnish, which is also very flammable, I assume. So it can stay over there. But I varnish mine to make them. See how shiny this one is? The sunlight. Shing. This one's a little shiny because the paint is kind of a matte. But yeah. So if you hold it over the candle too long, and it melts a lot, holes form. It will melt completely through. It will catch on fire and drip melting plastic onto your flesh and surrounding appliances in your home, such as a table or a box. I don't know where you live, but yeah, that always scares me now. Every time, ever since I had melted shards of plastic flying at my face. But yeah, I mean, okay. And then the thing with the roses is like, oh, it's starting to look like a rose. And then as soon as you get like 20 petals on there, you go to like melt two together and it busts into half and you have to keep remelting it. The good part about painting it is that you can totally paint over some of this stuff because that's not coming off. Okay, this is burnt. I did not make this one. I don't remember who did, but you can see, like, look at, see there's a little hole in there, and like it's squished. Crafting with fire. Okay, things get real super fast. So yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about this. It's super fun because you can make things out of plastic. And I'm sure you could get real decorative. They sell, I don't know if they have it at Hobby Lobby. They probably do. They have friendly plastic, which is little bits of plastic that you melt on the stove. Like, you boil it and it gets soft and you can mold it into anything imaginable you could ever make with plastic. And I haven't tried it, but if you don't have that, you got some plastic spoons and a candle lying around. You can make your own decorative flowers. You can make 1,000,000 of them for like 50 cents. I mean, I got a box of 100 spoons for like $1, I think. And they have like colored spoons. Okay, you could do it without having to paint it. I've seen it done with colored spoons. The only thing is with that is if you burn it, that's the end. That one is trash, and you gotta start over until you don't get these burn marks. So that can be a bit tricky. Like, I've burned all these, but I paint them so that you don't know that it's actually burnt underneath there. Plastic spoon roses are pretty cool that you can make something out of plastic super cheap. All you need is a candle and some cheap old plastic spoons. Really stinky. They don't stick together too well. You burn yourself. If you have heat sensitive gloves, I'm sure you could get away without doing that. I do not. So I tend to get burned. Let me do one that's like crinkly. You can also do, let's see here. Yeah, there we go. You can make like super cute little, we melted through, super cute little like ruffles without holes in them, like the one that I just made really quick for the purposes of this video. But like this one, it's all like crinkly around the edges. And try it. Tell me how it works. You know, maybe this is the most amazing thing you've ever seen. I thought it was until I made a bunch of them, and could have gone better, perhaps. Oh, important thing, you want to use the tapered candle, such as the one stuck in this Moscato bottle. I tried to use like a candle in a jar because it was scented. Smelled really good, but it's really hard to like get the plastic like down in there, and this one where the flame is more exposed, it's a lot easier. So don't use candle in a jar. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty cool. I like this one. So try it out. See what happens. Maybe you're a mastermind of flower plastic spoon art and you'll be a billionaire when you grow up. It happens.